Well, it was a tough football game. I thought that I was really proud of the effort our guys gave. I thought our defense played tremendous, especially in the first half. And we made just enough plays offensively. At times we could move the ball, but we never could bust big plays. And, to give them credit, they would get a negative play. 97's a heck of a player. He created a lot of havoc in there and, got some negative plays for us. And we just really never got in sync offensively, especially in the second half. I thought in the first half we were going pretty good, but, the turnovers are killers. I mean, you get down there and turn it over, and then we had it just outside field goal range. You don't want to punt, and, we can't protect long enough to get the ball off, which is disappointing. So we ended up giving up some chances to score. Lost momentum big time in the third quarter. We can't convert a 3rd and 1, and then we shank the punt, and they come out and get a touchdown. But after that, I thought our guys were pretty resilient. They fought pretty hard. So,
I guess, how's it feel? You guys, the 16th year, I think, for Georgia Tech for bowl eligible, 17th, and you're 11th, I think, as a head coach. How's that feel?
It hadn't sunk in. I mean, you're still into the end of the game. Like I said, I'm happy for the guys and proud for them. Now what we got to do is try to win the rest of the games. See what happens.
The freshman Tyler Boyd was a handful. He was as advertised.
We knew both their receivers were good players, and I thought we got good pressure on the quarterback, especially in the first half. And they were going to make some plays. You weren't going to set them out. I thought that there were two plays that were pivotal in the second half, offensively anyway. Was the first time we tried to hit DeAndre on a stop and go, and the guy clearly grabs him around the waist, and then we don't, make it, and then boy did he go up and get the last one. So that was a huge play, and then defensively we were able to keep him out of the end zone there at the end. Jamia picked the ball off.
Are you kind of surprised how DeAndre has come on? The fact that he was playing baseball a year ago and hadn't played football?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's a really good athlete, and like I said before, I think he's going to get better the more he plays. He's got all the ability to become a really good route runner, and I'm not sure that he is right now. He's more on athletic ability, but as he becomes a really good route runner, he's going to be a handful because you could see him go up and get the ball. I mean, he's a gifted guy. He's got a lot of ability.
Paul, that's 3 straight wins and 3 straight games where the defense has not allowed even 100 yards rushing. Today in particular, it was very impressive against the run. Can you give a simple explanation for why the defense is so much better recently against the run? Is it these guys marrying the system, getting to learn the system, or is it several people just stepping up and playing very, very good football
Well,
up front?
I think it's probably all the above. And Ted and those guys have done a good job. We're committed to trying to stop the run. I've said all along, I think that if you can run the ball and stop the run, you usually have a good chance of winning, especially if you do away with the turnovers. You'd have a great chance of winning. And the secondary's done a good job too, because sometimes we've got 7 or 8 in the box to stop the run, and they're out there on an island, and for the most part, they do a pretty good job covering it. I thought Lewis Young played really good. I mean, those receivers are good. He came up and pressed the guys and covered them pretty good.
Can you talk a little bit about the pressure you guys were able to put on Savage? And it would seem like one of,
going in, I think we knew they had a couple of freshman tackles, and Jeremiah's a pretty good pass rusher. And so he was kind of getting off and caving it in. And really, Tall was getting pressure from the other side. We need to get more up the middle at times, but, He's a handful to block one-on-one. Jeremiah, he plays with a big motor, plays hard, and he's quick off the ball.
Were you surprised how open that the fake punt was on the first down? You saw it coming?
Well, it was an option. Our kids did a good job executing. It was a rollout. If they pull you up, we'll punt the ball. If they don't contain you, you keep going. That's one of the advantages of rugby punting. I mean, when you do that, if they're trying to get a return and they don't contain out there and they got their backs turned, you can run for some first downs.
Robert's first touchdown run, kind of indicative of the various talents he brings to the field.
Right. Yeah, he just kind of pulled out of I think they thought they had him, and Robbie's got such a thick, strong lower body. I tell him sometimes he's vertically challenged, but he's got big, strong hips and legs, and if you don't get him down, he pulls out of a lot of tackles, and it looked like he was stopped on the sideline, and he just pulled out of it and was gone.
On that same run, you talk a lot about the linemen getting down to the second and third level. You saw Finch downfield throw that block to clear the way for the rest of the yardage.
Yeah, I think our guys, played hard, and like I said, we would move the ball, and then we'd get a negative play. I don't know what we got out of the quarterback. We got 64 yards, so he hit the seam a couple of times where he looked like he was almost gone. We good? No, we're not good.
One more. Well, I'm sure Ken has another one. Can you talk about Jamea again? The strong performance from him. I know he got dinged up during the game a little bit too, and came back.
He got dinged up and came out, but he went right back in, and it's like I've said before, he's just a good football player. I think he understands the game, and he can. He's kind of got some instincts sometimes, and he makes a lot of plays. Sometimes that can be his biggest weakness too, but his eyes. But he's, you'd love to have a team full of him. I mean, he loves to play the game.
The pass to DeAndre, I think you called the time before. What were your kind of thoughts about what you wanted to do, and how did that?
Well, we were either going to run a deep dig and a drag off sprint out. My thoughts were to double 97, so I wanted to adjust the protection because depending on how they lined up, we were only going to have Trey Braun on him. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to double him and put the backs on. That's why we held the other A back in the block. And so we were trying to decide whether we were going to drag and dig or just post corner, and we went with the post corner, and I'm not sure it was a great post corner, but it was a great catch. So Vad threw it up there, and he went up there and got it.
About 97, Donald, it seemed like the guys, Braun and Shaq, had some success against him.
Yeah, we had
He
some
made the plays
success.
too.
I mean, we were better going straight at him. Where he really hurt us was the plays that were going away and coming out the back and, slanting hard. We had a hard time picking him up. He's really quick. Yep.
Going into this week, did you see anything out of their tackles that made you believe you could have the game you had tonight?
I just go out and play every week. I don't underestimate the opponent, and I just go out and watch film, study their tendencies, and just go out and play with the same mindset every week to dominate.
Was there a little bit of advantage? You had some younger guys you were going against today, and you had probably your most dominating performance you've had at Georgia Tech in terms of being active, getting your hands on. You got deflected a couple passes and got in there and blew plays up, and then more forcing action. Other times that allowed other guys to get sacks.
I think it was just it was team effort. The secondary we were working in tandem today. Secondary was giving me time. Some of those sacks I had time to get there. Sometimes they'll go back and throw it fast, but I just kept grinding. But defensively as a unit, we kept ourselves up and went out there and just played. Nothing different really.
Robbie, on that final touchdown when you took the pitch, did you see nothing but end zone there?
Yeah, I mean, we had somebody pulling, and he got the outside linebacker. So after he got that block, it was just wide open.
Jeremiah, the run defense the last 3 games has been fantastic, especially today. But 3 straight games, the opponent hadn't even gotten 100 yards on the ground. Why are you guys suddenly so much better against the run than maybe you were even early in the season when against the weaker part of the schedule?
I just, it was just practicing hard. We practice harder. Guys are playing harder, faster, and we've been able to stay healthy. Most of our core guys. So we're just blessed to be in this position right now to be able to finish the season strong.
Jeremiah, you had the shutout against Syracuse, but I'm curious if you felt like this was a better overall defensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, winning just feels good, period. But when the defense steps up and wins games at Georgia Tech, I think it's a little more special. So, yeah.
I'm curious, when Coach Rue first got here, I'm sure he was explaining to you what he wanted to do and showed you Penn State tape. I'm sure, is this maybe the kind of game that you maybe saw that you guys could play?
I just knew Coach Roof when he came in. He's a great guy. Very easy to talk to. Just down to earth. Player to player. So I just knew everybody was gonna enjoy playing for him. Regardless of how our seasons went. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I just knew I was gonna enjoy my senior year, enjoy being a leader. I wasn't thinking I was gonna do this or that. Enjoy my senior year, enjoy being a leader, enjoy being around my teammates. And Coach Roof has made that, for more fun in the environment, more, you want to get up and go to practice every day. So, I really appreciate that. And that's what I saw from him as a guy who was going to put me in position to make plays and have fun.
Robbie, the offense is famous in the late in the fourth quarter for, putting together those long drives. I think this one was 7 minutes, 23 seconds. Is that something you felt you really needed to do to win this game?
Yeah, we were kind of struggling in the second half to make plays and to stay on the field. So once we got that final drive, we were just trying to make sure everybody did their assignment and get a touchdown.
Did the pass that DeAndre caught at the end, did that feel almost like relief to flip the field and obviously your chances of winning increased significantly at that point?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge relief for us. It's third down, we needed a big play, and he made a great catch for us to stay on the field, run some more time off, and get some points.
Were you surprised at all the call?
No, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I knew we were gonna throw it, just depending on what play we were gonna call.
Anybody else? Good.
Dre, on that final catch, what was the call and what did you see when the pass was heading your way?
Well, in the huddle, coach called a post corner. So I just saw how the corner was flaming, so I just wanted to give him a little bit to the post and, keep a high on the corner. And when I saw it, we had a little bit of room, and the way he batted through it, I knew I just had to go up and make a good play on it.
I imagine after the previous third down play where, ball popped out on you, that was, when you heard Coach call that gave you sort of thought about, a little redemption for, I know that's how kind of receivers think about it in terms of drops.
Definitely. I should have made that play on that last third down conversion. I'm just glad that coach is confident enough in me to, come back to me in that situation with third and long, and I was able to make a play for him.
Did you sense the safety coming over at all? Did you see him?
I saw him out of the corner of my eye coming. I had to go up and make a play regardless because of the corner had pretty good position on me, and so when I saw him coming over at the last minute, I just knew I had to pull it down.
After you made that catch, did you see any reaction from their defense? Could you get the feeling that we can take it in now?
Definitely. Especially after they came out the whole second half and kind of had us stall the whole second half. I think that play took a little bit out of them, and that was enough for us to finally put it in the end zone in the second half.
You and Vad, your relationship as far as quarterback receiver, how's it grown this year as the season's gone along?
And I feel like me and Vad have definitely developed the type of chemistry. But, he's the leader of this team, so he has that chemistry with everybody. And so, that's what great leaders do. They develop good chemistry with all their teammates. And, he's a great guy.
I guess you're pretty happy now that you made that decision to play football this year.
Definitely, definitely. I'm just glad that Coach Johnson gave me the opportunity, you know, come out and, you know, play for him. So I'm happy about that.
DeAndre, you mentioned that that post corner was called in the huddle, and I'm curious, like, how much was it we're running this play, or how much was it like discussion and like you should do this and you should? Was it how much was it more like, I guess just kind of drawing it up on the fly almost?
You know, I mean, I think we were coming off. I think it was off a timeout on 3rd down, and you know, coach just, you know, I guess he felt like that was the best route for us to run. It wasn't anything like how I should run it. It's just basically me reading to see what I could do at the corner and just try to make something happen.
Anybody else? Good.
Thank you. Thank you.